Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Jatapadakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Sri Rupam Sagradatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitang Tang Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Sri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhan Vitangscha Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chaksur Militam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Nindantam Pulakot Korena Bikasam Nipa Prasunatstrivim Prodvikritva Bhujadvayam Hari Hari Etuchai Vedantam Muhu Nrityantam Drutam Ashru Nirjarachaye Sinchantam Urvitalam Gayantam Nija Parasadaya Parivratam Sri Gauratandram Nama Ananda Lila Maya Vigrahaya Hemavadivyachtavi Sundaraya Tasmai Mahaprema Rasapradaya Chaitanya Chandaya Namo Namaste. Hare Krishna.
Question from Aravinda Lochan, Moscow. Inevitably, we make many things during our lives, which we cannot... Yes, we make many things during our lives, which we cannot be proud of, which make us feel shame, to feel guilt. We would better forget such things, but we can't. What shall we do with this background, with this luggage? Shall we try to forgive ourselves? How to get rid of this?
Bhaktivinoda Thakur in a song says, forget the past that sleeps and ne'er the future. Dream it all, act in times that are with thee, and progress ye shall call. And Guru Maharaj would quote Longfellow's line, trust no future, however pleasant. Let the dead past bury its dead. Act in the living present, heart within and God overhead. It is better to just dispense with such things. They have no real concern with us. They're karmic accumulation, what Guru Maharaj calls acquired prejudice, acquired tendency. It's not innate, it's something that's been acquired under the influence of the exploiting tendency. So in one place, Veda says, Asango Hyayam Purusha, saying actually the soul is never contaminated by the modes of nature. We may say temporary under the influence of, what is the Gita? Prakrite kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvasyaha ahankara vimudatma kartaham iti manyate. What we think is us, really it's the play of the modes of nature. So not to dismiss misbehavior, but neither should we dwell on that. But this humanistic idea about forgiving yourself, you know, what is the famous line? You know, to err is human, to forgive is divine. Let's leave the forgiveness part. You know, that's from the higher plane. It's a misconception, this idea of forgiving yourself. Better to understand philosophically what the situation is. And also take the responsibility for karmic circumstances that we've created. Right? But in the midst of that, when the karmic circumstance comes to you know, exact its tribute, it has its demand. We, the devotee, Guru Maharaj said, may make a show of what's the word, of obligation or response. He said, well, in the deep heart's core, given over to Krishna. And he said this with regard, again, it's Guru Maharaj, he's talking about parakiya rasa, which means, in this context, the paramour relationship. So he's saying, in this context, remember, this is an example to help us understand the situation. He's saying, so the karmic demands are akin to those of a husband over the wife. On account of that relationship, certain demands are to be met. He's saying, but the wife who has a paramour will be even more attentive, or appear to be more attentive to those demands, while their heart is given over to the paramour. So it's saying, karma comes to exact, it's, what is the word? Tribute, it's, what is the word? Well, it's coming to assert itself in the form of some particular sort of reaction. So we hear that, for example, what comes to mind in this regard too is that when Sanatana Goswami and Rupa Goswami were approaching Mahaprabhu, when they heard Ram Keli, they heard he's nearby, and their lives, they've only been waiting for this moment to join with Mahaprabhu. And they're seeing at last, it appears that opportunity has come. So in the dead of night, they approach him, and so with such humility that for him it's heartbreaking to see the two most exalted servitors decrying their own position and unfitness and sinfulness and venting extreme negativity, which Srila Guru Maharaj tells us is the hallmark of genuine devotion. As low as they conceive of themselves really reveals how high is their estimation of Krishna, or in this case, Mahaprabhu. As Kaviraj Goswami, Jagai Madhai Hoite Murise Lagishta, Puri Sherakita Hoite Murise Puri Sherakita Hoite Murise Jagai Madhai Hoite Jagai Madhai Hoite, what is that? Papishta, Puri Sherakita Hoite Murise Lagishta. I'm more sinful than Jagai and Madhai, puppies, and lower than the worm in the stool. And at the same time he's saying, but what is passing through me under the divine inspiration of Madan Gopal, there's nothing higher than this. These two things are there. So we can, on that, we can note on that while recognizing our fallen position, it does not diminish our aspiration to serve and extend what has been gifted to us by our Guru Varga. So, but in the midst of the depth of the negativity, of the humility of Rupa and Sanatan, which attracts the Supreme Positive, they say, we've come to offer ourselves to you. Right? And interestingly, Mahaprabhu says, this is not the time. And that for such servitors, for those that possess so much love for Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, how disappointing that is from one point of view, right? It's reminiscent of when the Gopis come to meet Krishna and he's saying, this is not the time. Of course, they remain. They're not dissuaded. Still, he tells them, but return, and he's giving this example, which Rupa Goswami later quotes in his poetry, saying, return to your situation for now, and be even more attentive to your duties. But in your hearts, you'll always be thinking of me. And that verse is there, Parivyasini, etc., saying, like the wife who has a paramour is more attentive than her duties, lest she be suspect. So Guru Maharaj was using this as an example of how to deal with our karmic circumstance. But at the same time, we recall when Srila Guru Maharaj, reflecting upon his own situation, what do you call it, Purvashram, his prior situation, the joining Sri Gaudiya Math, and then when he's reading Bhagavad Gita, he would say, Swadharme nidanam shreya paro dharmo vyavaha. That better to stick to your position than to take the risk of leaving that and embracing another path. So it didn't say it's fatal, but it said it's risky. Right? But Guru Maharaj, one of the things we observe about Srila Guru Maharaj is his candidness and his honesty about what his feelings are when he reads some particular thing or hears some. He knows that it's Shastra or scripture, but there's some element in his core that is resisting or finds it troubling, he deals with that. He seeks a resolution. So he's saying when he heard this, remember it's Bhagavad Gita, Krishna to Arjuna, okay? Stay in your position, so follow that. Don't take the risk of leaving that and embracing another. And so Srila Guru Maharaj said, I was disappointed. He's just saying, that didn't capture him. There was something about that was disappointing. He said, but that's early on in Bhagavad Gita. He's saying, but then later, when Krishna says to Arjuna, Arjuna, in the final analysis, ultimately, Sarvadharmam parichaja mamekam sharanam braja. Give up everything and just come to me. Directly. Give up everything. Right? Earlier in the Gita, we also heard, when your consciousness has come out of the dense forest of delusion, you'll be indifferent to all that was heard. One interpretation means certain aspects of the Vedas and what they're prescribing, but another thing, on a practical level, is all this past, so-called past of our life. We can't allow it to define ourselves. It's defining a mundane aspect of the self that was acquired along the way. So we can't give it importance. Our interest is in discovering the servitor identity. Anyabhilashita shunyam jnanakam, when those layers of acquired prejudice, acquired tendency are removed, the servitor self, that identity, we're pursuing that, and automatically the undesirable things are left away. They start to dwindle, diminish, vanish. Right? You'll see, it had nothing to do with who you are. So we should not be seduced by secular, humanistic, psychological analysis of personality trait. We're told it's the modes of nature at work. It's not your actual self. Again, that doesn't excuse misbehavior. We don't say like, do something wrong and say, oh, that's not really me. It's just the modes of nature. I'm a good guy. I'm actually a nice guy. It's just the modes of nature, what's up with that? That's just being insincere. But trying to correct the past or resolve, it's a waste of time because it's not your actual self. The emphasis should be through seva, revealing the servitor self. Right? And that dwindles, diminishes, vanishes. So, and so when Krishna says, Sarvadharma, when Gaurava said, when I heard that, give up everything and come to me, he said, then I was happy. He said, and then he had to reflect. And by the way, the next line, ahang twang sarva papebhyo mokshayishami masucha. Krishna said, and if there's any fault in doing this, if someone's saying, you're ignoring some of your karmic responsibilities by pursuing Krishna consciousness. Isn't that convenient? So many things could be said. Right? Once Prabhupada was, someone was being considered for sannyas. And he made the case, and Prabhupada was considering. Then some devotees came in and they said, Srila Prabhupada, we think he's doing this to try and escape family responsibilities. And Prabhupada surprised everyone by saying, whatever the reason, it's good. Because Guru Maharaj, to add to that, would say, sannyas, accepted rightly or wrongly, has to be kept. He's allowing their, rightly or wrongly kept. One way ticket, right? Or Avadut Maharaj would always tell me about the Russian army. There's no turning back because you'll be shot. So you've got to go forward. Something like that. So but Krishna, look, it's Krishna's personal guarantee. Ahang twang, and he's saying, so maybe there's some fault. So Krishna's saying too, if there is, I'll digest that. I have that capacity. Even if there is wrong, not to say, oh, there's no wrong. From a high point of view, yes. But if relatively speaking, he's covering that as well. Relatively speaking, there's some abandonment of duty or perceived responsibilities in your karmic circumstance. Krishna is saying, I'll take care of that. Believe me, have faith in me. And then he said, aham tvang sarva papyebhyo mokshayishami ma suchaha. Don't worry. It's like Krishna saying, I've got your back. Who better than Krishna to have your back? But this also caused Srila Guru Maharaj to reflect upon the earlier sloka, to which he said, yes, it's saying, remain in your position, right? To withdraw from that, embrace another one is risky. There's some risk involved, which means you could go down. He said, but why are you being told to stay in your position? To make progress. Right? That is our most important product. Progress. We're trying to make progress. Right? He said, so if you find by remaining in your position, not only are you not making progress, but you're going down. Right? By remaining in your position, you're not only not making progress, stagnant, but you're going down. He said, then you may take the risk to leave that place. There's risk involved, but under those conditions, you'll take that risk. And Sarvadharma, give, and all these other considerations, every other consideration, give it up, whatever it is. However sensible, rational, obligational, whatever it might seem to be, and go to Krishna directly. And what's also, what's the word? Ensconced or encrypted within this, it says, Sarvadharmam parityajya mamekam sharanam braja. Right? And if we take those words, reverse them, and look at them from a fresh perspective, then it becomes Braja Sharanam. Who are the exemplars of this type of unconditional, exclusive surrender to Krishna? Radharani and Braja Gopis. That's their way. As we've heard when, Krishna wants to reveal this in different ways. So, he sends Uddhava to Vrindavan to have a glimpse of these divine damsels and their divine ways. Gopi Bhav, Asamaho Charanarenu Jishamahangshang, Vrindavane Kimapi Gomalatosa Dinam, Yaddustajam Swajanamarjapatam Chihidva, Bejur Mukunda Paridrim, Shrutibir Brahmrigyam. The Arjapata, that means the Vedic path. Arjapata Chihitva, they've rejected that. And they're not loose women or women of loose morals. They're perfect in every way. But in answering the call of Krishna, they've crossed over every other consideration. They themselves personify Sarvadharmam Parityajya Mamika to the extreme. Right? And we're told, Guru Maharaj mentioned, that when Krishna always wants to shine a spotlight on their devotion, particularly. So we hear, Krishna has a headache, he's suffering, and Narada is saying, what can I get for you to give you some relief? He says, only the feet dust of a devotee will cure my headache. Special type of migraine Krishna has. Requires feet dust for cure. Right? Narada approaches the queens of Dwaraka, saying, Krishna's suffering right now so much, special migraine, and only the feet dust of the devotee, he said, will cure him. So can you please give some feet? And the queens are saying, what? Take the dust from our feet and put it on? Ugh, we shudder to think of such a thing. Never. And you're a devotee. You want to give your feet dust? No, no. Running away, running back. Narada, hurry, hurry, give me. Did you get? None is prepared to give. Then Braja, Sharanam Braja, go to Braja. Surely the gopis will give me some relief. And he goes to Vrindavan and approaches the Braja Gopi, and they say, oh, Narada, we're so happy to see you. How is Krishna? saying generally he's doing well, but at present he has this migraine, and only the feet dust of a devotee will cure him. And the Gopis immediately start giving feet. And they're going, wait, they're saying, I don't know if I'm a devotee or not here. And he's saying, but I mean, if you're not, you know what the consequence would be? Eternal hell, right? And sprinkling your feet dust on the head of Krishna, then I'll have to go to hell forever, but Krishna will get some relief. That possibility that Krishna will get some relief, that's our only concern. And then Narada understands why Krishna has this headache. He wants him to see how exalted is the position of the Braja Gopis. No concern for themselves. No body conception do they have. If they put on makeup and make themselves look more beautiful, it is for the pleasure of Krishna. Everything they do is for the pleasure of Krishna. And that does not mean that they are without pleasure or happiness, but this is the method through Atma Samarpanam, offering oneself exclusively. And it's beautiful how the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna discusses so many things with Arjuna, everything, every possibility practically. Right? Different perspectives, how that karmic his karmic situation can be seen or understood. But what's the final advice? Give up everything and just surrender to me. Why? Because it's my will. It'll make me happy. It'll make you 10 million times happier. Right. So, and again to Uddhava, as we mentioned it, in the Asamaho Charanrenu sloka given by Uddhava, after he saw the type of devotion of Radharani and Braja Gopis, we're told that he thought, and this is central, actually, not peripheral or anecdotal, that Uddhava thought, to be one of them, that's too much. Right. Yet, in this plane, the newly recruited aspiring neophytes are voyeuristically envisioning themselves as super servitors. So it's a hallucination, it's fictitious devotion, it's a fraud, it's a hoax. Right? Because you see, the genuine devotee, and this is alluded to in the final section of Upadeshamritam, that Uddhava and Narada wrote, Premaika, this particular type of devotees, that saying, if this plain, Radha Kunda Tata and its divine waters, that for the Parama Preshta Sakis, it is a rare achievement, then what to speak of others? It's a rare achievement for them, what to speak of others. So that Uddhava, we're told, Chakrabarti Thakur, and that he realizes what to speak of, to be one of them. He's saying, to ask them for the dust from their holy lotus feet, they'll never consent to that. For him, right? Interesting. They're prepared to do that for the headache of Krishna, but to such an exalted devotee, no. That's interesting. So he's thinking, then I've got to get the dust from their holy lotus feet. Which means also, Saraswati Thakur, as we heard recently in Chaitanya Bhagavat, means to come under their influence also. It's literal and metaphoric at the same time. And remember, it's all Chinmoy substance at this point. Right? So it means it's not only spiritual substance, but spiritual substance enriched with the highest degree and magnitude of devotion and self-giving, self-surrender, right? Self-oblivion. They have achieved self-oblivion, not self-annihilation. No. Self-oblivion, so wholly given over to the other, as if to have no consciousness of one's own personal existence, yet retaining one's identity. Right? Love of the highest degree. So his strategy is then I would have to be present there in a way unseen. Right? So asamaho charanarenu, my aspiration for their charanarenu, the dust from their lotus feet. Asamaho charanarenu jisamna hangsham brindavane kimapi guma lata oshadinam. Just like when we were at Uchagaon and Lalita Bar, the house of Lalita Saki, which Srila Gurudev expressed had some particular hold upon him. So when you go, the little children, sometimes they attach themselves to us as we go around, and these are not ones asking for rupees, and it's not often traversed, and they're just excited to see this group, And this one little girl was tagging along with us, and at one point I asked her what was her name, and she said, Brajalata. And I thought, oh, right. Latosadinam asamaho charanenu jasamahangsham brindavane kamapi guma latosadin Brajalata. Or a leaf, a creeper, a blade of grass. Or to take it away from these literal things, an atomic presence in that plane. Srila Prabhupada in his Shikshastakam, Ayi Nanda Tanuja Kinkaram, Patitamam Vishame Bhavam Budho, Kripaya Tabapada Pankajastita Duli Sadrasham Vichintaya. He's saying, Ayi Nanda Tanuja means the son of Nandamar. He said, I am Krishna Kinkar. That's who I am. That's my actual identity, is your eternal servant. Well, what happened? Now I'm overwhelmed by an ocean of forgetfulness and ignorance. Right? Endlessly distracted from the service of your servitors and your holy lotus feet. He's saying, but please be merciful to me. And Prabhupada used the word. He said, and fix me as one of the atoms at your holy. He used that word, atom. So I say, an atomic presence in that plane is the aspiration of Uddhava, because he's saying, when, Radha, Padman, Kitadam, Vrindavan, Jaranam, what is Vrindavan proper? That plane that is above your head is the holy lotus feet of Srimati Radharani, moving in service to Krishna. And he's thinking, if I'm a blade of grass or a creeper, when Radharani and her holy lotus feet and the lotus feet of the Braja Gopis are moving there, then some of the dust, unknown to them, unseen by them, may come upon me like Abhishek, and thereby consecrate my existence. This sounds to me like someone who has a view of reality and is expressed and has an appropriate response to what he's seeing, and it's consistent with Das Goswami, Mahaprabhu himself, Radharani, Rupa Goswami, Lalita Sai, that when, Radha Mukunda Parasambhava Garma Bindu Nirmanchano Pakarani Krita Deho Laksham. Right? The greatest magnitude of eagerness for the least connection reveals the depth of genuine appreciation. Not the voyeuristic, for someone in the lowest position, voyeuristically envisioning themselves as a super servitor. They're unacquainted with reality. But here, Uddhava, that Uddhava, na tata priyatama atmayonir na shankara, na cha sankarshan na shri naivatma chayata bhavan, whom Krishna says is the best, highest. Remember, when Srila Guru Maharaj was in South India, we've heard also from Srila Prabhupada and different, the so-called Shrutadar, means whatever they've heard, they can recall that, right? What's that other thing? Eidatic memory? Yeah, eidetic memory. So this person, like we talk about the book Bhagavad, and certainly we mean more than this, but he knows all the slokas of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Right? And we would say 18,000, originally Guru Maharaj once said 16,000 extent. Either way, he knows them all. He can recite the entire Bhagavatam by memory. And Guru Maharaj says, then in your estimation, who are the highest devotees? And he says, Chaturshan, the 4 Kumars. Right? And he asks Guru Maharaj, and who in your estimation? And herein we find the difference between what we call Bhaktivinoda calls Bharabhyahi and Saragrahi. The one who's carrying shastric knowledge like an ass, like a beast of burden. Right? It's going to break their back. And on the Saragrahi, who can extract the essence, the creme de la creme, right? Shruti saram of what is to be heard. So with 2 slokas, Guru Maharaj said the 4 Kumars, they're in the lowest position. Oh. Then with these 2, Natataham Priyatama Atmayon, who's most dear to me? Uddhava. So using Krishna as the authority is established the primacy of the position of Uddhava. Right? And then from the mouth of Uddhava, and what does Uddhava say? My aspiration is to be a blade of grass or a creeper in the fetus of Radharani and the Braja Gopis. How beautifully and sweetly, in 2 slokas, he's established her position, thereby making all of the Guru Varga happy. Right? Saraswati Thakur will be so happy, Sri Barshabhanavi Devi, Daita Das, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, everyone, spiritual world, dancing. But Krishna tells that Uddhava in the 11th canto, Jata Sradamadkatasu Nirvina Sarva Karmasu Veda Dugatmakan Kaman Prityage Pyanishvara. That my devotee, aspiring servitor, sometimes they're haunted by, lingering aspects of the mundane. Right? One place, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, like, there are instances where a dead body will sometimes, pop up, and they have, instances like that in funeral homes, or another example, that when you pull a plug from a fan, the blade keeps moving for some time, but it's no longer connected to the power source. So sometimes, karmani nirdahati kintuja bhakti bhajam. When someone comes in connection with genuine Krishna consciousness, earnestly, then the plug on that karmic wheel has been pulled. It will gradually come to a halt. And if there's some residual movement, that's all it is. Don't take it as defining or determining. Right? So Krishna tells it, so if this aspiring servitor lingering, attachment to the mundane pulls them down momentarily. He said, they are so repentant and remorseful within, and he said, and jata shraddha matkatasu, but they get life from hearing about me. They are remorseful for these events, but they're still delighted by hearing about me and my devotees, and they harbor this service aspiration within their hearts. And he's saying, gradually I will spread my influence over their heart completely, and the other things will vanish. Right? As when Srila Saraswati Thakur was initiating one gentleman, Guru said, who was a spy during the war, which war I'm not sure, but and so a military example came to mind, and in connection with the 10th canto sloka, Pravishta karna randrena shvanam bhavam sororuham dinoti shamalam Krishna shalayasya yatasharat. That Pravishta karna randrena means Krishna enters through the ear and the medium of sound into the deep heart's core and begins to spread its influence. He said, like the Navy carries the army in the boats, and then they reach the shore, the front part comes down, and then the soldiers come out, and then what do? One of them runs and plants their flag in the ground, and then they start claiming it, that territory, and then they continue to spread their influence, and what's the word? Conquer. Yeah. So he's saying, through the medium of divine sound, Krishna conception enters the heart, and Krishna's planting his flag there, saying, this whole heart belongs to me. Just like they do. They put it on the beach, and this whole place belongs to me. And they say, well, you're just on the beach right now. But Krishna puts the flag in the heart and say, and he declares the whole heart to be his. And as Guru Maharaj said, and he will not tolerate any lien holders. L-I-E-N, lien means a second owner, someone who owns a portion. He's saying he declares the whole heart to be his. So gradually, by hearing about him, serving him under the guidance and direction of his devotees, Krishna conception conquers the whole heart. Right? And we like to say that this is the disappearance day of Srila Bhakti Gaurava Giri Maharaj, known as Sripad Paramananda Vidyaratna Prabhu and Sri Gaudiya Mat. And Guru Maharaj described him as a pet disciple of Srila Saraswati Thakur, who joined him when he was 13. He's sometimes saying he was either his first or second disciple. I mean, there from the beginning. And traveling with him, and was personal servant. Sometimes Gurudev and Guru Maharaj would tell me, they go, oh, Paramananda, he knows so many things. Because he would sleep on the floor in Saraswati Thakur's room, and as they were saying, I can't go into it now, but overheard so many conversations. Sometimes he said, someone would come in and say something really confidential or private, and after they go, Saraswati Thakur go, Paramananda, did you hear that? So when I remember when at the time our Paramananda, and his name previously was Paramatma, Gurudev, it was time to change his name, and Gurudev's thinking, and he looked over to me, and I thought, because I know that Guru Maharaj and Gurudev, they love this name. It's very favorite to them. I said, Paramananda? And Gurudev, yes, Paramananda. So that he was happy that our Paramananda would have that name is also special, because then the very name Paramananda is very dear to Srila Guru Maharaj and Srila Gurudev. But, so once in traveling, like they're going to go, say, from Bengal to Vrindavan for Brajamandal Parikrama. He's on the train, and it's far between stops, and he wants halava, and it's not available. Maybe at the next station, but it's not available. But one yogi was visiting Srila Saraswati Thakur, and very much taken by him, and not, I take it not to impress, but to serve, to offer some service. Coming aware of the situation, apparently had siddhi prapti. There's asta siddhi, 8 different types of mystic perfection. Siddhi prapti, prapti siddhi means you can acquire things from a distant place and transfer them to where you are. Prapti, you know. So seeing the boy like, I want halava, you know. The yogi produced halava as a service, you know. And in Vrindavan, on the Brajamandal Parikrama, they have set up camp there, and Paramananda Prabhu goes to see Radha Kunda and Shyama Kunda, as everyone, you know, any new devotee would be excited to have that opportunity to glimpse those holy places. But he came back excited and went to Prabhupada, you know, and said, Prabhu, he said, I saw to share what he observed, and he saw this Diwan of Bharatpur with his wife and family, and they were doing this type of, you know, Samkhya Purvaka Nama Gana Natibi, you know, like giving dandavats, and then moving up one length, bowing down again, giving Shastanga Dandavat, moving up a body length, and that way circumambulating Radha and Shyamakunda. And by the way, don't try this at home. That is, you know, the Goswamis of Vrindavan. To imitate the behavior, Prabhupada says, to imitate the behavior of Mahabhagavata, well, you'll degrade, you'll go down. That'll be the end result. Still, people are, you know, it's a fashion. So he's excited, and he says to Srila Saraswati Thakur, he says, they have so much regard for Radharani. And Saraswati Thakur says, yes, but there is a big difference between their position and our position. He said, in their conception, Krishna is in the primary position, and Yata Radha Priya Vishnu, and because Radharani is dear to Krishna, they revere Radharani, because she's Krishna's dear. He said, but ours is just the opposite of that. We are wholly, solely fixed upon, dedicated to Srimati Radharani. She's in the primary position. And because she desires Krishna, and we have connection with Krishna. But she's in the primary position in our conception, and Krishna's in the secondary position. Kintu sakshari tenastamasta shastre uktastathabhav jateva sadvi. Understand, focusing upon Guru, Krishna. Kintu prabhoya priya evatasya. But upon closer scrutiny, Prabhu Priya, the one who is most dear to Krishna, and there is no one among those who are dear to Krishna more dear than Srimati Radharani. So Guru Maharaj, hearing this, he said, oh, I remember what Sanyal said in his Vyas Puja address. We do not know Krishna, we know you. Right? And he thought, he's saying that Guru is the ultimate attainment? More than Krishna? That, again, what I alluded to in the beginning about Guru Maharaj's honesty, that kept in mind. And then when he saw, oh, in this way, that Radharani, she is capable of giving Krishna in the highest quality and the highest quantity. Right? If someone were to go direct to Krishna, the limitations of their capacity, right, or the capacity of their limitation. But I think they both mean the same thing. Would preclude them receiving this quality. Right? It's in this sense also a strategy. Right? But really, it's not an ulterior motive, but it's an outcome of this sort of exclusive devotion. And it's mentioned in the Ramananda Samvad. And it'd say, whoops. Radhara Swarup. That should be enough. Hare Krishna. Radhara Swarup, Krishna Prem Kapalata. The Swarup, Radharani Swarup is like a Krishna Prem Kalpa-lata. Like for most devotees, they've heard something about Kalpa Vriksha. What is the Kalpa? Oh, that's a tree that, the wish-fulfilling, desire-fulfilling tree. And it doesn't mean your, whimsical, mundane desires. It means your service aspirations. Right? Service aspirations, devotion, prem, right? Pure love. Right? Das kori beton mori deho premadan. Service with prem as a salary or payment. So, Radhara Swarup, Krishna Prema Kalpalata. Here, she's a Kalpalata of Krishna Prem. I mean, I'm just saying it's there. And I hope it's not wrong to point that out. I'm saying, so, like that, she gives Krishna Prem. And to what degree? I'm just quoting what is said there. Saying, so that, remember Lata? So it's here. She's like a Kalpalata, and in her embrace, connection with Krishna, whatever you talk, the Gopis, the Sakis, they're like the twigs, the leaves that are part of that. And it's saying, of this divine exchange between Rasaraj Krishna and Mahabhav Swarupini Radha Thakurani. Rasaraj Krishna, and then the one who can extract from the Rasaraj to the highest quantity and quality of rasa. It says there, it seems you have to read it 5 times to make sure that you're reading it correctly. It says what they experience, the pleasure they experience, her friends, assistants, and their assistants, is 10 million times greater than what she is experiencing. So, Srila Saraswati Thakur says, and we should preface this by saying, generally speaking, you have on one side the Vaishnavas, the Gaudiya Vaishnavas in particular, and on the other side, the Shaktas, so-called, the worshippers of Devi, like Ma Kali, Durga Devi, that side. Right? Chayeva Yasya Bhuvanani Vibharti Durga. Remember, Durga Devi, shadow potency, shadow. And Saraswati Thakur so beautifully, generously, beautifully says, she's also a Brajagopi, but in this plane, doing this particular service function. But Chayeva Yasya, and according to Brahma Samhita, shadow. So they're the Shaktas, and the other side, the Vaishnavas, and they're generally at odds. But here, Srila Saraswati Thakur told his disciples, they're hearing, he's now saying, Radharani is our primary concern. Right? Prayojan Tattva Charja, Raghunath Das Goswami, Asha Avare Amrita Sindhu Mahi Katanja. Prane Kalomayati Gamita Akila Sampratami, Tvam Chet Kripam Mayumidasa Vinayava Kimme, Prane Brajena Chabaro Rubakarinapi. More valuable, this aspiration to serve her holy lotus feet, Radha Dasyam, is more valuable than our own lives. And what's more valuable than our own lives? Vrindavan. And what's more valuable than that? And Krishna himself, saying, without you is a dreadful thing, in the words of Guru Maharaj. So how singular is her position. So Saraswati Thakur said, we are Shuddha Shaktas. Those Shaktas, they're worshipping the shadow potency, Ma Kali Durga Devi. He said, but no, we're Shuddha Shaktas. We're worshipping the supreme goddess. The supreme goddess of fortune, Srimati Radharani. So he revealed that at the questioning of Paramananda Prabhu. On that Brajamandal Parikrama, another disciple, you can say, innocently asked, as they're going on hearing so many things, saying, well, but we hear in this Rasa Lila, Radha Madaya Hridaye Tatyaja Brajasundari, that seeing the superlative qualities of Srimati Radharani, Gandharvika, or singing, dancing, and when she leaves, Krishna leaves all the Brajasundaris and goes in search for her. Oh, how great she is. 1 trillion minus 1 cancels the remaining. He goes in search of that one, leaving the trillion. Right? 1 trillion times qualified. Happy. But then the devotee mistakenly, innocently said, but we see after some time, when she said, oh, from such all this singing and dancing has made me tired. If we're to go any further, you must carry me. Krishna carries her, then sets her down, and when her eyes are closed, he's saying, is there anyone more fortunate than I? Krishna left 1 trillion gopis for me alone. And when she opens her eyes, Krishna has vanished. He said, why? And Gaurava said, Saraswati Thakur was enraged and said, why do you introduce this? There is no devotion to be found there. And everyone becomes silent. Don't disturb Prabhupada. And his divine sentiments, Sri Barshabhanavi Devi Daita Das, such an exclusive servitor of Radharani, like Raghunath Das, tossing the cup from Saki Stali, nothing connected with the opposition, he never, So, but Srila Guru Maharaj, and if even in this particular talk, you can see a pattern evolving, that when something comes that's, an ontological dilemma, so to speak, Guru Maharaj prayerfully, ever faithful servitor of Srila Saraswati, he will dive deep into reality and extract some chinmoy gems from that plane. So Guru Maharaj said, then going through, he knows that Radharani must always be in the primary position. He knows that. As I see Srila Gurudev, we know that Guru Maharaj is always in that position. That is our starting point. We know he's already, whatever he says, that's perfect and right. And then we work back to that if necessary. It's a shortcut. So Guru Maharaj knows Radharani must be in the primary position. Then he's going through Bhaktivinoda Thakur and he says, and he sees, why did Krishna absent himself? Because he's so astonished by what he's seeing. Aparam kasyapi pranay janamandasya kutuki. Rupa Goswami says in the Chaitanyastakam, this has aroused his curiosity. He's saying, if she's seeing all these different types of divine ecstasies playing upon her divine form and various, and he's saying, if this is what it's like when we're together, and I estimate that although I'm Rasaraj as Mahaprabhu, what she's experiencing is 10 million times greater than what I'm experiencing. If separation takes the heart to its greatest depth, where it yields the most superior substance, what is it like? What is separation like in her? So we're told he hides himself in a kunja to observe Srimati Radharani in separation from Krishna. And what he sees astonishes him so much that he decides to descend as Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So in this way, Srila Guru Maharaj maintained her position as being primary. And how great is her devotion. Bhaktya sanjataya bhaktya. You can only get devotion from another devotee. Like Paramananda Prabhu, when he became Bhakti Gaurava Giri Maharaj, he would reveal that he would read Sri Sri Prapana Jivanamritam every day. Right? Guru Maharaj's original work with original slokas and a compilation of, according to 6 divisions of surrender, 6 angas, all these expressions from the Lord, his devotees, Mahaprabhu, etc., different scriptural references. So he said he would read that every day. That was part of his sadhana, if you will. But in the beginning, the introductory slokas, of course, we should mention the one that sort of encapsulates everything. Says, Bhagavat Bhakti Tat Sarvam Iti Utsrija Viderapi Kainkarjam, there's Kinkar, Kainkarjam Krishna Padaika Shayatam Sharanagati. That you'll get everything from Sharanagati, of which Saraswati Thakur said, it's like cash in the hand, it's not a promissory note. Beginning, middle, and end. When someone comes in connection with Krishna consciousness, the surrender that from the very beginning, that's cash in the hand. It's that valuable. But the first sloka is Guru Gaura Gandharva Govindangringanai Saha Bande Prasadato Yesam Savaramba Subankra Gauravag Vigraham Bande, Gaurangam Gauravaibavam, Gaura Sankirtanomatam, Gaura Karunya Sundaram. That's really beautiful. And it's about Saraswati Thakur, Gauravag Vigraha. He is the personification of Mahaprabhu's teachings. And see how that's consistent with his unconditional, unalloyed devotion exclusively to Srimati Radharani as exhibited in Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But then next verse, Guru Rupa Hrim Gauram Radha Ruchi Ruchavratam Nityam Nomi Navadipe Nama Kirtananartanai. But the Guru Rupa of Hari, when Krishna takes the form of Guru, Guru Rupa Rim Gauram, Radha Ruchi Ruchavratam, covered in the heart and halo of Srimati Radharani. So how great is her devotion? She's converted Krishna into a devotee. And he's madly Nama Kirtana Nartana. Mahaprabhu Gauranga Sundara Nagarabara Nityam Nijer Namabi. Now with her heart, the voltage of her Krishnam, he's chanting the name of Krishna, relishing its sweetness, it's driving him mad, and that's being expressed in the form of ecstatic dance and distribution to others. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri. And Guru Maharaj's word, Nitai Gaur Gadadhar Advaita Srivas. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parivrajaka Asatara Siddha Shri Srimad Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Rakak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Ki Jai. Jai Saparikar Sri Sri Guru Gauranga Gandharva Govinda Sundar Jiva Ki Jai. Shri Giriraj Govardhan Ki Jai. Shri Rupanuga Guru Varga Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhaktavinda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gop Gopinath Shyamakunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Navadip Dham Ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat Ki Jai. Shri Gupta Govardhan Ki Jai. Ganga Devi Jamuna Devi Bhakti Devi Tulsi Devi Ki Jai. Om Vishnupad Vishvavarenya Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat Acharya Brinda Ki Jai. Jai Srila Bhakti Bimal Avadut Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Srila Bhakti Ranjan Madhusudan Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Sriman Paramananda Prabhu Ki Jai. Shri Bhakti Lalita Devi Dasi Ki Jai. The Tirobhav Mahotsav of Srila Bhakti Gaurava Giri Maharaj Paramananda Vidyaratna Prabhu Ki Jai. Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Seva Vrinda ki jai, Nitai Go Premanande.
Mission Bhakti Sudhir Goswami Maharaj ki jai. And Maharaj. Leela Sundari from Krabbis Creek, Australia. Dandavats and pranams Goswami Maharaj. Gaura Shakti Prabhu, Anusuya Didi, Ajita Krishna Prabhu, Atula Krishna Hungary, Kamala Naina Didi, Sahadevi Didi, Kshama Buddhi Prabhu, Suchitra Didi, Krishna Shran Prabhu.
Isn't it Krishna Sharan?
Krishna.
It's just the spelling that's thrown.
Krishna
You say KRSNASARANA.
Yes, Krishna Sharan Prabhu.
That's all.
Yeah.
It's just a different.
Krishna Kanta Didi, Italy. And Madhavendu Das, Belarus and Ukraine. Hare Krishna, dear Gurudev, please bow to your lotus feet.
Jai
Prem Narayan Prabhu, Rasananda Prabhu, Sochi, Dhananjay Prabhu, Russia, Malika Didi, Shanghai, Preeti Sharma, Vijay Krishna Prabhu, Banavi Didi, Italy, Rotin Prabhu, Moscow, Rupa Vilas Prabhu, Praneshwari Didi, Nadia Barandici, Ukraine. Then Padmagarbha Prema Bhaktidas, Dandavats Maharaj and assembled devotees, and Kshama Buddhi, watching with my 33-year-old son Nitai Prasad.
Hey Krishna. Jai Nitai. Vansakalpa Trivrasta Kripa Sindhu Bevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha.